Hey guys, in yesterday's video, we did a robot foot just for fun. And as I was closing my ZBrush, I literally thought it would be so much fun to maybe build the rest of the character. So here's a quick time lapse. It's just a 3x fast forward, so it's kind of a time lapse, but still you could still see everything that I'm doing. So what I did was I brought in a sphere to create kind of a organic looking pants, and I thought it would be interesting to see like a cloth mixed with like a robot. So he actually has pants on, and it's just a sphere with the top cut off and the legs kind of cut off, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to it. And you can see me kind of shaping something that looks like pants. And then I just use my folding brush that I use pretty much in every tutorial and created kind of a really simple folds just to give it a little more interesting feel. Once I did that, I took the leg and then I realized it didn't really align well. So I had to figure out how I can bend the top of the leg. I didn't want to use the move brush. But I instead just figured out that I can just mask out that portion of the piece and just use the bend modifier to kind of bend it into position. Here I wanted to create like a little extension coming out of the pants to make sure there's like some kind of a connection. So these are essentially almost like sweatpants, like monks sweatpants or something, I don't know. And they have like a little connection connecting the metal piece to the pants. And then I just used the inflate brush to make the connection feel a little more natural. So it, so it feels like a cloth meets metal kind of thing. And then I just, I mirrored the leg over, and then I realized that my pants were actually not centered, right? So that was a funny little challenge, but I had to figure out how to center my pants and then recenter my leg. So that little, first I tried to do it manually, but I realized that's not going to work because I actually need them to be centered on the grid, right? So then I realized you can use that little house that honestly I've never really used, the home icon on the little gizmo. So that will center your objects to the grid, and then I just have to realign everything back into position. So it was a cool little trick, actually, something that for some reason I never encountered that. I never really had my mesh go off center before. Then I just simply added one of the IMM curve brushes to create kind of a fun strap going around the pants. And I just made it kind of a cartoony and stylized. And the cool thing about curves is that you can drag them around and they'll rotate it. It will rotate around the mesh. And then here you see me just pushing it away from the pants a little bit to just give it a little more breathing room. Then I went back into the IMM to create kind of a connector, like a buckle, almost like a side buckle, I guess. So I was trying to figure out which piece I want to use. And I just ended up using this round one. I thought that kind of worked. It looked like it clipped on both sides. Then once I subdivided it, I was pretty happy with it. To clean up some of that mess, sometimes when you're modeling, you can always recut some surfaces. That you see me doing that here. And once I straighten out the surface of the pants, I just inserted another sphere and just used booleans to create kind of an indentation going inside the pants so I can insert the spine of the robot. For the spine, I just decided to do something super simple. I just grabbed a box, and I thought it would be neat if I just literally just randomly cut it up, just creating some kind of a custom shape. And I did know that I wanted to be tapered, so I wanted the top to be kind of skinnier than the bottom. This way I could clone it and it would kind of stack up on itself. And you can see me doing that here. Just moving it and then holding on Control to copy it, and then releasing Control and then dragging it up. We'll just keep kind of cloning the same pieces, right? And I do that a lot, so it created kind of an interesting spine effect. Once I was happy with it, I just kind of used the bend modifier to bend it into position. And even that right there looks kind of cool. For the head, I just grabbed a sphere. And I wanted to use the same trick that we did with the legs in the previous video, where you just create another duplicate sphere. And here you also see me tapering the spine to give better flow of the shape. But here you see me creating another sphere, making it a little bit larger, just like we did with the foot in the previous video. And then just using the knife tool, right, just slicing the shape and creating that nice inset. Again, I think it works really well with kind of a sci-fi robotic pieces. Here I was using the little gizmo thing where you can just move multiple layers at once. So I had to shimmy over both, not both helmets, but both pieces of the head. Next, I wanted to create a little IMM insert inside the helmet. And for that, I realized that I wanted to change the depth at which I was inserting the little spheres into the helmet. So I went diving for the depth icon, and then once I found it inside brushes, you see me just creating, kind of playing around, trying to figure out if I liked the concept of adding some kind of a inserted meshes, and then I just flattened it out to make it look more interesting. Here I wanted to add more detail to the helmet, and I wasn't really sure exactly what I wanted to do, so I started kind of experimenting and playing around, and I tried to grab the masking tool, and I ended up just kind of accidentally creating an X, and then I thought, why don't I do something with that? So I just ended up extruding that X selection and Z remeshing it, and I thought it was kind of interesting. It kind of worked, and maybe I could have done maybe a little better, cleaner job, but I thought it was kind of interesting, so I left it in there. And then I just wanted to clean up the ends, and you can see me fighting a little bit here with the mesh. So I ended up just flattening the bottom one, and then I'll end up slicing the top. There I realized that my X was going over the other elements that I created, so I just decided to just simply delete the middle one. So some of it is just exploration and playing and seeing what works and what doesn't. It's not just like every single stroke is perfect and it's bullseye every time. It's more, a lot of it sometimes is just exploration and just seeing what works and what doesn't. Here you see me masking the back side of the X and the helmet, so I could create the clean cuts for the ends of it. And the Boolean is currently turned off, so you see the little pants indentation not actually being subtracted in real time. Here I just wanted to create like a little cage for his upper part of the body to hold the arms. So I just ended up just using booleans with the same trick, just dragging the control down and then releasing it, and then you just create clones of it, right? Here I was trying to figure out if I wanted to make it hollow inside, so I ended up copying the top kind of an egg shape and then putting it inside the Boolean layer as well, right? And then just kind of creating kind of a hollow, empty look or effect that I thought looked pretty cool. I ended up making the Boolean and then obviously deleting all the other meshes and reinserting the newly created Boolean mesh. And here you just see me aligning it and positioning it to make it feel like more like a body of the robot. So I wanted to give him kind of a strong shoulders on top, so you can see me kind of sculpting this frame into something interesting. He almost looks like a biker or like a futuristic sports football player or something to me. I don't know, but I wasn't really sure what he's supposed to be, but just a cool robot character. And then I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna bring the arms in, so I just ended up bringing a sphere and chopping it up in kind of an interesting way, so I could start bringing in other shapes. For the arms, I just grabbed a cylinder and kind of put it into position, and I knew later that I could use the cut tool to create something interesting and not, not a something boring. And then here you see me tapering the ends to create more of a flow between the shoulder and the forearm. For the forearm, I just simply grabbed a sphere. You see me doing that here, and then once again just slicing it. And I tried a couple different shapes to see what might work. Then I copied it over to the other side, and then just started slicing the cylinder to create something a little more custom, a little more interesting than just a simple cylinder. And I did the same thing for the forearm as well. Once I did that, I realized I forgot to mirror it. So instead of flipping it over, I just started over. That happens a lot, actually. Keeping track of symmetry. I wanted to punch a couple holes through the top part of the arm just to create yet more kind of a detail. So you see me doing that here. I knew that live booleans are already turned on, so I was thinking why not leverage that and just insert a couple more shapes just for fun. It's so easy and fun to just insert you know, punch holes through by just mixing the shapes. Once I created the arm, I wanted to tackle the hand. And I didn't want to spend too much time on the hand, and I really wanted to just focus on something super simple. So I literally jumped into another tool instead of using the same scene with the robot with all the pieces. And I didn't want to fight with all the layers. So I just jumped into a new tool and just grabbed a simple cylinder, and then just used the cylinder and a box to create an entire hand. You can see me just slicing and just copying the shapes. So once I created the 3 fingers, I just ended up creating the thumb. Creating a thumb from just grabbing one of the fingers and literally just putting it in position. Then I thought, instead of just leaving it as is, maybe it would be a good idea to bend the fingers a little bit as well. So you can see me attempting to use the bend modifier in a couple different approaches to see what might work. And I just ended up doing something as simple as just a straight bend. I wanted to see if I could have a different bend for each finger, but I decided to just kind of cheat and just bend them all at once. To add a little something extra, I just used the chisel brush to create little detail on the hand. And right there you see me, I realized I didn't turn on the morph target, so I just kind of cheated and decided to go with the different. I didn't connect the tops, right, because it wasn't working. And in here, you see me just simply bringing the hand tool back with the other tool and just repositioning the pivot and just aligning the hand to the forearm. I was trying to figure out what size I wanted, but it clearly felt like there needed to be some kind of a connection. So I just simply created a mask and just grabbed my move brush and just extended that part of the mesh into itself, into the forearm. So maybe it could be like a rubber piece that's connecting the arm, something bendable, right? Here I attempted to mirror over the arm, but you could see I was doing something strange. I accidentally flipped my axis, so I had to fight with that for a second. Alright, so once I did that, I inserted another IMM boolean, just a bunch of pre-made holes here in ZBrush that you have as well, and just activated my boolean and then mirrored it over to the other side. As a final detail, I wanted to add a little ring to the shoulder, just so it felt a little more interesting. The shoulder felt kind of empty and boring to me. So I literally just created a ring and just kind of rotated it into position to create something a little more detailed. Here you see me creasing the shape and then subdividing it. I want to make sure that it kept the edges, but I also needed to make sure that it was didn't have any subdivision levels because I wanted to mirror it to the other side. So you see me doing that here. All right, so that's pretty much it. It was a fun little experiment. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from watching it. So I'll see you in the next one.